Warning. The video might contain things that might make other users uncomfortable, such as sexual implications. If you feel uncomfortable in any way, please click off the video. And please, try to be respectful in the comments. Viewer discretion advised. Hello, I am BEC Enterprises, speaking on behalf of notsodevy. In this video, I will be discussing in detail about Sark Cream from Sally.exe Continued Nightmare, and how her negative reception kick-started Jace's downward plummet into negativity. This will cover touchy topics, so once again, viewer discretion is advised. And also, please note this is Devy's opinion, not mine. My opinions don't completely reflect Devy's. I am merely just the messenger. That said, let's get started. First things first, we have to know who this Sark Cream is. If you have been living under a rock or are mostly unaware of the Nightmare series' deeper lore, allow me to explain. Pearl, once known as Sark Cream, is a character created by jaizkoys appearing in the Nightmare Universe series. She is based on an adaptation of Cream from the original Sally.exe game by Crimson the Bat. I put adaptation in quotes because, well, we'll get to that. How Sark Cream ruined Christmas. Christmas Eve. It was that time of the year again. The snow was falling, the cold wind was blowing, Christmas cheer was in the air. Everything was going so well. That is, until on Twitter.com, where things turned pretty ugly. And don't get me wrong, things are usually ugly on Twitter.com, but this is a case where it got really ugly. On December 25th, 2021, jaizkoys posted a preview of an upcoming comic called Anger Duality. The preview gave insight into Sark Cream's backstory, which has been quite the subject of controversy. Sark Cream's mother, Violet, aka Sark Vanilla, was revealed to have become a prostitute following being demonized by Sark, the quote-unquote original Sonic.exe, with Violet sleeping with men for money, and even attempting to sell her daughter into sex slavery, which would have happened had Sark not rescued her. But this was made worse with the obvious knowledge that she still became a sex slave to him anyway, and enjoyed it for some twisted, fucked up reason, which has been met with a lot of ire from the EXE community on Twitter, as well as past victims of such abuse that felt that Jayz was downplaying the serious issues at hand. And the fact that this preview only came out a few months after JC the Hyena, Sonic.exe's original owner, for those that don't know, was exposed for pedophilia and grooming. This didn't help the case a bit. She is also clearly a minor in a sexual relationship with someone much older than her, despite Jayz's repeated claims to the contrary. Eventually, someone by the name of DN, aka Danon, called them out with a post saying, "Hi bro, how about we don't make 6-year-olds, i.e. Cream, sex slaves, weirdo?" Shortly after this post was made, it led to a lot of calling out, and several of the Nightmare Universe's voice actors, like Yuri Haru 567 and Chica Septiceye, left the project in response to this. Jayz, Costas, and their fans tried to double down on this and attempted to justify their actions, with Jayz going so far as to treat Twitter users as social justice warriors. But this resulted only in most of the EXE community, including Sonic.exe's current owners, Astronomicon X and Jodo Boy, severing all ties with them, as far as we're aware. Yuri Haru versus jaizkoys. To this day, User Yuriharu567 on Twitter regrets ever working on the Nightmare Universe games with Jays, seeing their past roles as old shame. However, when attempting to vent about this in public, Jays and his fans accused them of trying to spark up issues from the past. This has been increasingly met with further disgust towards Jays, who, even now, is burning himself out from his dedication to his stories, especially since those past issues are still a source of contempt to this day. Really makes you think about who's moved on and who hasn't, doesn't it? Outcast disaster. The following year, jaizkoys released a new video on his YouTube channel, dubbed Nightmare Universe Outcast Massacre, which was meant to give more insight into Sark and Sark Cream's story. However, this only caused much more drama than appropriate, such as a parody of Starved by Duh Dummy on Twitter, and some abomination resembling the Twitter bird to mock Twitter in general. Even worse, this did nothing to resolve the criticism towards Sark Cream's character, only making it increasingly worse. Going off script for a moment, I really feel like, according to the EXE Empire server, they only made the video for drama bait, just for fun, and that's no good. Back on script, what upset notsodevy, uploader of this video, was one of the later scenes that had a parody of his old persona from 2018 or so, named Denny Colt, very clearly used as a mockery towards Devi and his past, even after he left the Sonic.exe community prior to the video's upload. When I spoke out against this, a few people, even several of the EXE Empire's server admins, called out Jays for his needless act, and in response, they were claiming they'd changed the scene accordingly. However, as of today, jaizkoys has not done anything about the Denny Colt sequence, neither removing it or editing it as he had promised. In summary, I feel the introduction of Sark Cream was the beginning of Jays' ultimate downfall, as she is a clear source of controversy whenever she is mentioned. Any prior contributions to the Nightmare universe after this was made clear are now seen as old shame by all former team members who have gone on to do their own things outside of Jays' content.